In the bustling town of Luba, there lived a hardworking young man named Joel. Handsome, kind, and determined, Joel had faced his fair share of struggles after finishing secondary school in his rural village. Financial challenges prevented him from attending university, prompted him to make something of himself. Joel moved to the city, where he started a small shoe repair and crafting business. Every morning, Joel will wake up early, collect worn-out shoes from his customers, and spend hours repairing, polishing, and sometimes crafting new pairs of shoes. The work was demanding, but Joel took pride in his craft. He earned a reputation for being reliable, always delivering repair shoes on time. Despite the hardship, one thing gave Joel strength: his girlfriend, Maria. They had been inseparable since their secondary school days, and her love, support meant the world to him. Each evening, no matter how exhausted he was, Joel would call Maria to just hear her voice. Their conversations about their dreams and future were his lifeline. One day, Joel proposed an idea that intrigued Maria. She should move to the city to live with him. He believed they could find better opportunities and build a life together. Maria eagerly agreed, excited to start this new chapter. When Maria finally joined Joel in the city, his joy was boundless. Although their humble apartment was modest, having Maria by his side felt like paradise to him. They had agreed to wait until their marriage before becoming intimate, a decision rooted in their shared values. Their love was strong, and they believed they could weather any storm together. But fate had a test in store for them. One fateful afternoon, Joel realized it was almost 2 p.m. He had promised to deliver a pair of handcrafted shoes to one of his most prestigious clients, Madam Oliva. Known for her wealth and beauty, Oliva was married to one of the richest men in the city, but her husband was always away on business. She lived in a life of luxury, yet her heart was heavy with loneliness. Determined not to disappoint his client, Joel grabbed a pair of shoes and set off on foot to Oliva's house. Midway through his journey, dark cloud gathered, and a sudden downpour soaked Joel to the skin. He clutched the school box tightly, ensuring the shoe stayed dry. When he finally arrived at Oliver's grand mansion, it was 2:12 p.m. Drenched and out of breath, Joel rang the doorbell. Oliva opened the door, her eyes immediately locking onto Joel. His wet clothes clung to his toned body, revealing every muscle. "Madam, I am sorry. I'm a little bit late," Joel began, his voice trembling from the cold and exhaustion. "The rain made it hard to get here on time," Joel said. Oliva barely heard his words. She was lost in a trance, her gaze fixed on him. Realizing she had been staring, Oliva shook herself and invited Joel in. Joel politely declined, explaining he needed to return to his workshop. As he turned to leave, Oliva's eyes followed him, her mind filled with forbidden thoughts. That night, She lay awake, unable to forget the sight of Joel in the rain. The following morning, Oliva confided in her best friend Clara. Like Oliver, Clara was married to a wealthy businessman who lived abroad and had not returned home in years. As they sipped tea in Oliver's lavish living room, Clara noticed her friend's unusual behavior. "What's wrong, Oliver? You seem distracted," Clara asked. After some hesitation, Oliver confessed, "I saw something yesterday and I can't stop thinking about it. It's Joel, the shoemaker. He came to deliver my shoes, and in the rain, his wet clothes, I just can't get him out of my mind." Clara was shocked. "Oliver, you are married. You can't have these thoughts about another man." "But my husband is never around," Oliver argued. "Don't you ever feel lonely?" "Clara, of course I do. But that doesn't give us the right to break our promise. Forget about Joel, Oliver." Oliver nodded, but as she drove home, her resolve crumbled. Her obsession with Joel grew stronger. The next day, she visited his workshop under the pretense of a special request. "Good evening, madam." Joel greeted her with his usual politeness. "You didn't have to come all the way here. I could have delivered the shoes to your house, or perhaps come to pick it up." Oliver smiled. "Actually, I have a special job for you, a home service. Come with me, I will drive you there." Eager to please his wealthy client, Joel locked up his workshop and got into Oliver's expensive car. As they drove, Joel noticed they were not heading toward her house. "Madam, where are we going?" he asked, a hint of unease in his voice. "Please call me Oliver baby or sexy Oliver. That madam sounds too boring, I can't stand to hear it," she said softly. "We are going to my hotel room. I have some shoes there that needed to be repaired. Is that okay?" Joel nodded, though his unease deepened. When they arrived, Oliver led him to her suite. As soon as the door closed behind them, she locked it and began to undress. "Madam, what are you doing?" Joel exclaimed, his eyes wide with shock. "Joel, I want you," Oliver confessed, stepping closer. "I have not been able to think about anything else since that day in the rain. Please don't say no." "I have a girlfriend," Joel protested, backing away. "And you have an husband too." Oliver frowned, pulling out a thick bundle of cash. "He's never here, and no one has to know." "I can take care of you, Joel, and besides, who will tell him? Will you?" Joel stared at the money, his mind racing. Separate thoughts were coming to his mind. It was more cash than he had ever seen in his life. But then, he thought about Maria, his girlfriend, waiting for him at home. Pulling up his courage, all his strength, he shouted, "No," and fled out of the room. When Joel returned home, he found Maria sitting outside the apartment crying. Their belongings were scattered around her. "What happened?" he asked, rushing to her side. "The landlord came," Maria sobbed. "The landlord came," Maria said. "We are 6 months behind on rent. He threw everything out. What are we going to do now? Crying. Joel's heart sank. He had been struggling to save money, but business was slow, and supporting Maria had drained his resources. Joel went to see the landlord and pleaded to pay the money in 2 days' time. After long pleading, the landlord brought a paper and pen, instructing Joel to write an undertaking that he will pay up in 2 days' time. Joel did as instructed, and the key room was handed over to him. He promised to pay in 2 days' time without having any expectations from anywhere. He went back to Maria's at home. They packed everything inside. He picked up his phone and started calling few people he could call to raise some money to pay his landlord and save himself from embarrassment. But all his efforts were proving abortive. Desperate, he resolved to do the unthinkable decision. The next day he called Oliver. "I know, young man. I know you. I know guy like you needs someone like me in his life. I knew it. I knew that you would call, but I did not expect it so soon. Anyways, meet me at the same hotel, 6 p.m. Please don't be late," Oliver said. He couldn't say any word on phone other than, "Yes, ma. Alright, ma." At exactly 5:30 p.m., he left his office to the same hotel, where he received a royal welcome from Madam Oliva. They got intimated, and Madam Oliva handed over to him an heavy loaded cash. Oliver said, "I don't know you perform excellently like this. I'll make sure I'll put a call to you whenever I need your service. Don't even go there. You should delete it from your mind now that something came up between you and I. It's a one-time service, and we are parting now. Always try to avoid me. Go your way, then I will go my way," Joel angrily said. Joel left angrily with a little bit of excitement. He couldn't believe he could make so much cash like that. He had to work for around 6 months before getting the equivalent of cash given to him by Madam Oliva. When he reached home, he paid up his landlord upfront of 2 years' rent. The landlord got excited and praised him for his well done, forgetting he had rebooked him a few days ago. He stocked home with different food that could take them for 3 months and bought expensive attires for his girlfriend Maria. This is so strange to Maria, which prompted him to face Joel. "Joel, are you sure you didn't rob the bank overnight? How could you get all this within the twinkle of an eye? I was even expecting you to plead to the landlord for an extension of this, but see what you have brought home instead. This is becoming unusual, Joel," Maria said. Joel replied, "Trust me, everything is perfectly fine. I didn't rob. Likewise, I didn't got all this illegally. If I had to start, I would have started years ago. I believe in hard work, dedication, and commitment. I can't trade it for anything. I just see it that God wanted to use the landlord's embarrassment to pave ways for us. So don't panic. The police wouldn't come for us." "Well, I've heard you. If you didn't find my words worthy, what goes around surely comes around. The secret of a dubious person don't conceal forever. Wherever you get all this, be expecting results soon." She left uneased. What followed was the beginning of Joel's migration into dark and twisted world. the worst decision he would ever make in his life. It all began with his relationship with Madam Oliva, a wealthy woman who introduced him to a luxury life. Joel's transformation was almost immediately. He showered his girlfriend, Maria, with expensive gift items, but his behavior towards her grew cold and distant. Most nights, he didn't come home, leaving Maria alone and suspicious. One fateful night, after an extravagant outing with Madam Oliva, Joel staggered. He staggered home, drunk and completely out of control. Oliver had to drop him. One fateful night, after an extravagant outing with Madam Oliva, Joel staggered home, drunk and completely out of control. Oliver had to drop him off at the house herself. When he got home, he staggered in. He attempted to force himself on Maria. Terrified, Maria managed to escape from his grasp, locking herself in another room until he passed out. It was a scenario she had never experienced. The next morning, Maria packed her belongings and confronted him. "You tried to assault me, Joel? How could you?" she cried, her voice shaking. You have changed into someone I don't recognize. Your sudden wealth, your attitude, none of it feels right. I can't stay here any longer." "Maria, listen," Joel pleaded, his voice trembling. "I wasn't myself last night. I don't even remember doing something like that. I swear. I've never haunted you before. Please don't leave me. I can't stand to lose you." But Maria stood and cried, "How do you expect me to live with someone I don't feel safe around? And this sudden change in your lifestyle, it does not add up. No word comes overnight. I can't continue like this. I am leaving, Joel." Joel's face hardened. "You are blowing this out of proportion. Fine, leave. If you want to leave for good. You can't expect me to stay the same way forever. I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of being insignificant. I deserve better life. If you are not pleased with this, then find your way." Without another word, Maria walked out, tears streaming down her face. She had nowhere to go, but quickly remembered an old friend of hers living in a nearby city. She reached out and was welcomed with an open arms. Meanwhile, Joel decided to close his cobbler shop, the very trade that had supported him and Maria. He considered it beneath him now. Moving to a house near Makola University, he furnished it lavishly with modern interior decorations that could have paid for 2 small apartments. For months, Joel did nothing but bask in his newly found lifestyle, but his neighbors began whispering about his idleness. To maintain appearances, he applied for a job as a gym instructor at a nearby campus gym. The rigorous training session transformed his body, giving him muscular feet. Joel found the work enjoyable and relished the admiration it brought him. As Joel's physical transformation unfolded, Madam Oliva couldn't stop boasting about him to her best friend, Madam Clara. Joel is not just handsome, but a dream in bed. It wasn't long before Madam Clara screamed to get Joel close to herself. She invited him to a dinner party, extending the invitation to Oliver. Joel, now radiating confidence and charm, arrived at the event. His six-pack and muscular frame impossible to ignore. During the dinner, Clara arranged a moment alone with him under the pretense of needing help in the kitchen. "You are quite impressive, Joel," Clara whispered, her tone. "I can see why Oliver speaks so highly of you." Before Joel could respond, Clara handed him her number. Their secret exchange was seamless, and when Oliver returned, she suspected nothing. It didn't take long for Joel to start juggling both women. Lavish gifts and words of cash flowed his way as he became the center of their bitter rivalry. When Oliver discovered Clara's involvement with Joel, it ignited a war between the two women. Insults were exchanged, threats made, and their friendship crumbled. For Joel, the drama only added to his ego. He had become a gym favorite, admired by clients and envied by other instructors. But beneath the surface, his life was unraveling. Joel had abandoned the principle that once defined him, chasing fleeting pleasures and sinking deeper into the chaos he had created. One beautiful afternoon, 5 young girls from Makola University came to register at their gym. Their tummies were beyond explanation. Their doctors had recommended a workout under clear supervision. Being a gym instructor, Joel welcomed them with his open arm. The Joel's gyms was the closest gym to their university, and it made them choose Joel's gym center as their first option. Unknown to Joel, one of the girls happened to be Madam Oliva's daughter. Madam Oliva had never mentioned that she had a daughter studying at the same university. She had never said that to Joel. The 5 girls, from their appearances, seemed to come from highly respected families, and their looks spoke volumes about their background. Joel, with its professionalism and dedication, took care of the girls with passion. Their weight began to reduce steadily with every session, motivating them to stay consistent and punctual at the gym. Among them was Sophia, Madam Oliva's daughter. Though Joel wasn't recognized her identity, Sophia, unknown to Joel, had begun to seduce him each time they met at the gym. It was as if flirting ran in a family league. Joel, despite his attempt to remain professional, found it increasingly difficult to look away. Sophia grew more attractive by the week, her confidence increasing as the fat around her tummy melted away. The tension between them built with every encounter. What started as casual glances and innocent remarks evolved into something far more dangerous. Joel couldn't resist her charm, and Sophia's advances became bolder. Their connection was undeniable, and before long, the two found themselves in a secret affair. It was hidden from everyone, but filled with excitement and danger. Sophia was thrilled and couldn't help talking about Joel with her friends. "He's amazing," she would say, her admiration obvious. However, she never revealed the truth about their relationship. Their affair stayed a secret but the world around it was starting to crumble. Neither of them realized that their risky relationship was about to fall apart. After a few months, Sophia stopped going to the gym. Her excitement about her progress had slowly turned into confusion and sadness. At first, her workouts were paying off. Her weight was reducing and she was looking and feeling great. But then something strange began to manifest in her life. Her tummy, which had been reducing, suddenly started growing again. Standing in front of the mirror, she placed her hands on her stomach. "This doesn't make sense," she whispered. "How can my friend's tummy be getting smaller while mine keeps getting bigger? I was doing so well before. Why is this happening now?" She tried to ignore the strange feelings in her body, the tiredness, the dizziness, the old cravings that made no sense to her. She thought maybe it was her diet or stress from school, but deep inside, she knew something was not right. Unknown to her, Sophia was pregnant. The signs were there, but the thought had never crossed her mind. She hadn't told anyone about her secret relationship with Joel, and now her growing tummy was becoming harder to hide. Joel too noticed her absence at the gym. He wondered why she had stopped coming and if she was avoiding him. A part of him worried, but he brushed it off, thinking she might have lost interest in working out. Watch out for concluding parts. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly do so now, and don't forget to like this video and share it with your friend. Thank you.